rivalry is defined as equals or almost equals who attempt to surpass one another in pursuit of the same object. Tonight, that object is a national championship. The rivals, 10-time title holders Mount Union out of Ohio and Wisconsin-Whitewater, owners of a 44-game winning streak and the last 2 titles. For an unprecedented 7th consecutive year, the 2 premier programs in Division III college football face off in the final game of the season with everything on the line. The NCAA Division III Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and we welcome you to Salem, Virginia for the 39th edition of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. Top 2 teams in Division III meeting again. Number 1 and 2-time defending champ Wisconsin-Whitewater versus number 2 seed the University of Mount Union from Alliance, Ohio. This the 7th consecutive year these two have met in a title game. It's almost a Game 7-like atmosphere here as the 2 of each won 3 times. But it's the Warhawks of Wisconsin who have claimed the last 2 titles. Glad you're with us tonight. Rob Stone, Danny Cannell, Tom Luganville will join us in a moment. Combined, these 2 programs have won 13 national titles, including the last 6. It's number 1 versus number 2 in a tournament format for the title. No BCS bickering here.
No, and the thing I love about this game, there aren't any voters, there's no computer, there's no poll. These teams earned their way here. Both teams 14-0, fought their way through the playoffs. There is no question these are the 2 best teams at this level facing off tonight.
And both teams agree there is one true difference maker on the field tonight, and the NFL guys agree as well.
Absolutely. Wisconsin-Whitewater's Lavelle Coppage is an unbelievable running back, 7,700 career yards. The thing that I like about him and what separates him from just your average back, he steps up against the best competition in the playoffs. He has excelled. Last year in this game had 299 yards rushing. He's going to be a big impact player in the game tonight.
NFL scouts have visited and revisited his campus all year long, looking at him. Tall task to limit Coppage, and his play will be a focus of that man, Charles Diesel, the Ohio Athletic Conference Defensive End of the Year. Raiders and Warhawks kick it off when we return. Number 1 versus number 2 in Division III football here in Salem. Wisconsin-Whitewater's nation's best 44-game winning streak on the line. Tom Luganville live with their 5th-year head coach, Lance Leipold.
Thanks, guys. Coach Leipold, you've won 2 back-to-back national championships, 44 consecutive wins, longest active streak in college football. How have you avoided complacency with this program?
Well, I think our coaching staff has done an outstanding job getting our players to believe in focusing on the process on a weekly basis, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Over the last couple of years, you've had to face the likes of Cecil Shorts III and Pierre Garçon for Mount Union, 2 big playmakers. What about this team at Mount Union concerns you the most?
I don't know if they have that NFL player yet on this roster, but they're extremely talented with a lot of weapons, which makes it even more diverse of an offense to stop, and that's going to be a big challenge here tonight.
Great, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Guys.
Leipold, 2-time National Coach of the Year, former quarterback for the Warhawks. Mount Union won the toss, deferred. Wisconsin-Whitewater, wearing the all-purple, will receive.
Tell you what, when you've got 44 consecutive wins, you don't want to be the team that loses that game. You want to keep that streak alive, and I think that's something that Lance Leipold has used to motivate this team.
Tyler Almeida, senior from Ohio, set to kick it off for the Raiders. Steve Morris, sophomore, racing Wisconsin, and Jared Keesow back to return the kick. Fans familiar with the Salem-Roanoke area. Both these programs here for the 7th consecutive year. And we are underway in the D3 title game. Morris from the 14, taken down at the 30. Matt Blanchard, senior from Lake Zurich, Illinois, last year was first team all-conference, had huge numbers, only 1 interception. In the 10th game, he broke his thumb, missed the entire playoffs last season. Blanchard, huge numbers, 23 touchdown passes, just 3 picks. But they love to give it to number 33, Lavelle Coppage. Fumbled snap, picked up, run to the left and tripped up. George Carbonell there, loss of 4 on first down.
You know, the weather was bad all afternoon long. It's not raining now, but you know the field is damp. And just right there, the ball kind of squirted up to Blanchard. Did not get an opportunity to get his hands on it. And he's lucky just to get that ball back. Really had nothing to do with the football except try to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he couldn't even do that.
2nd and 14 for the Warhawks. First carry from Coppage, across the 30, down at the 33 as we take a look at our impact players, Danny.
Well, we already talked about Lavelle Coppage, but in the passing game, it's wide receiver Tyler Huber. He's their play-action pass, deep ball threat. And for the other side, for Mount Union, it's their secondary, Nick Driscoll. He's going to have to make sure he stays back, but he also becomes a big part in the support to running game to come up and stop Coppage as well.
Gain of 7 will bring up 3rd and 7. There's Driscoll, outstanding athlete, solid in the classroom as well. 3.69 GPA in biology. First pass of the game over the middle, complete, first down. Luke Menzel, the sophomore from Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, a gain of 16.
But when you've got a guy like Lavelle Coppage, even on a 3rd and 7, that play action, the linebackers have to respect it. Blanchard just pokes the ball in the stomach, throws a nice in cut for the first down. A nice route to number 8, Luke Menzel.
Blanchard's forte is that play action pass. You're going to see a lot of it tonight. He's very good at moving the pocket as well from the shotgun. Another tough snap, falls into the hands of Coppage. Cross midfield, and a healthy gain from what could have been an ugly play will give him 4 on first down.
Well, after they fumbled the first snap under center, they've been all out of the shotgun formation. They think that would solve the problem. Right here, though, ball just kind of got back on Blanchard pretty quick, and you've got to believe that the field, the playing surface, is still slick out there, and it's affecting the ball when it comes back, because that ball just looked like it slipped right through Blanchard's hands. Coppage just caught it right to him.
Second challenging snap of the opening drive of this Division III National Championship game. Now, Blanchard goes under center. Play action. Over the middle. Good hands. The nice grab. Zach Howard, the sophomore from Oak Park, Illinois. And Blanchard a quick 2 for 2 on the opening drive.
Whitewater runs so much of that inside zone running play that the play action works so well. Here they are again. This time you see the inside clear out route and a deep in cut behind it. Perfectly thrown ball by Blanchard. And so far, Wisconsin-Whitewater looks to be executing well when they get the snap correct.
Gain of 15 for their second first down. Coppage. Across the right side, crosses a 30 just barely. Gain of 3 on first down, brings 2nd and 7.
You know, the ball looks like it's a little bit slippery. Tom Luganville, you're down on the field. Can you give us a little update on the conditions?
Yeah, you know, it's not overly slippery between the hashes. It's a little more slippery along the sidelines. Now, I'll say this, guys, and Danny, you'll understand this as a former quarterback. The center for Wisconsin-Whitewater has a very low stance, almost like a goal line run stance. Blanchard, who stands about 6'3", 6'4", he's really got to get low. It's difficult for him to take a snap right now.
Hanson, the center, listed at 6'1", 276. 7th play of the drive. Blanchard rolling to his left, and another completion. Tyler Huber with the grab, just shy of the 20.
I really like the game plan that Steve Dinkle, the offensive coordinator for Wisconsin-Whitewater, has called to this point. You know, so much of the focus is going to be on Lavelle Coppage in the backfield, but they're working the pass game pretty successfully right here early on.
Blanchard 3 for 3 for 39 yards and a couple first down throws. First and 10, just outside of the 20, opening drive of this Division III National Championship game. Wisconsin-Whitewater gives it to their All-American Coppage. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Frank Orteca, the junior from Twinsburg, Ohio, there to stop that one. A second-team all-conference performer.
Well, you know Mount Union is going to get a lot of guys around the box, 8 and even 9 defenders. But what that does is that creates opportunity on the outside. But you know that Whitewater does not want to give up on the running game. It doesn't matter if there are 8 or 9 guys. They are still going to give Coppage the carries.
Second and 10. Blanchard, he'll run it across the 20. Ran into a pile of bodies at the 15, leans forward, a gain of 7.
It's a design quarterback draw all the way. Mount Union sitting in soft zone. You see Blanchard just sets up, shows pass, and then tucks and keeps it himself for a positive gain. Gives him a very manageable 3rd down and short here.
Blanchard last week in their semifinal win ran it 11 times for 39 yards. And what one touchdown as they shut out number 3 seed St. Thomas of Minnesota 20-0. 3rd and 3. Byron Stanford in the backfield. Blanchard will throw it, looking for the end zone, picked off. Chaz Jordan with the interception and the return out to the 5. Second pick of the season for Jordan.
Right here, Matt Blanchard has really solid protection. They're trying to throw a short underneath hook route, but when he goes out, makes the critical mistake for a quarterback, throws it back against the grain all the way across the field. Number 20, Chaz Jordan from Mount Union is waiting on it. The first mistake of the game comes from Wisconsin-Whitewater. If you're Matt Blanchard, just throw it away. Live to maybe even go for it on 4th down if you don't want to kick a field goal there.
So Mount Union brings their offense out for the first time. Junior quarterback Matt Pilato under center. The give to Jeremy Murray. Murray close to the 10. Gain of 5 on first. Pilato, junior from Rotunda, West Florida, just outside of Tampa. 2 weeks ago was forced out of the game with a hip pointer. And Pilato did not start the season as the #1 quarterback. It was Neil Seaman, and Seaman will probably see some playing time tonight as well. Another rush here from the Purple Raiders, a loss of yard. And for more on the quarterback situation for Mount Union, here's Tommy.
Yeah, guys, Matt Pilato actually saw his first career collegiate start in this game a year ago. Welcome to college football. Let's thrust you into duty in the national championship game. Did not start the first 8 games of this season. Starter was Neil Seaman, but he has played extremely well. 6-0 on the season as the starter is Matt Pilato.
And Pilato facing a 3rd and 7 right now, Tom. Pilato under center, and then he backs off. Murray, the tailback, 2 wideouts to the left and the right. From his own end zone. Low one is caught, will be short of a 1st down. Jasper Collins with the reception. So the first punt of the evening coming up here. Brandon Matthey, who doubles as a wide receiver, will punt it away to Zach Howard. Howard standing at midfield. Kenneth I with the call.
Are you going to give him the ball?
The previous play is under review.
So they're going to take a look at the catch by Jasper Collins. Ryan Wenkman was the man in coverage. Might have gotten it loose.
Look at Casper Collins going down to try to catch it on the edge. Swiped away at the very end, but I think he did catch this ball.
He didn't have it here. See how it rolls up and then punched away, and he was out of bounds.
There's your best look right there. It looks like he had it for just a split second. And this is going to be critical because of where they are on the field right here. If this is an incomplete pass, Mount Union is going to be faced with a punt. Now they've got a little bit of breathing room. If this is ruled incomplete, they'll be back. The punter will be in his own end zone, probably punting out.
The line of scrimmage on that play was the 8. 5-yard difference, depending on the ruling here.
You see Ryan Wankman, when he gets up, he swats his right hand, swats the ball out. Did Jasper Collins, number 8 for Mount Union, did he secure it for that split second on the ground before that?
Ruling on the field was a completion.
A lot of people might look at this and say, well, what's the big deal? You know,
We're still going to punt, right?
But the real critical part about this is where they will have to punt from. And in this type of matchup, when you're talking about these teams so evenly matched over the years, special teams could become a big factor in this game.
5 yards can become a huge difference. Plus, it puts a little bit more heat on the long snapper and the punter.
You know, these officials are newer to replay as well, because predominantly Division III, they will not be playing with replay reviews.
West Coast Division III officiating crew here tonight. First review of the game, and a lot of folks in purple here today. Great showing from the folks at the University of Mount Union. It looks like we'll have a ruling.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down at the 8-yard line. Please set the clock to 7:50.
So right now, a whole new situation for this punt team. They'll have to make sure they protect their punter, and now Wisconsin-Whitewater can get a little more aggressive and get that block team out there and really get aggressive and try to go after this punt.
Howard was nestled at midfield. Now he's moved up to about the 42 to try and receive this punt from Matthew.
It affects everything. The punter's got to get it out quicker. He's not going to get as much into it.
Short punt. Miss hit. Takes a great bounce, though. And the bounce and the roll
Tell you
about
Rob,
11 to 12 yards, a 39-yard fortunate punt.
It gets in your head as the punter. Mount Union can't capitalize off the interception by Chaz Jordan. Matt Blanchard tries to shake it off and get Wisconsin-Whitewater in the end zone this drive.
NCAA Division III College Football Championship is presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. And in part by the new Capital One Cash Card for people who want 50% more cash.
Okay.
Rob Stone, Danny Cannell, Tom Luganville welcoming you back to Virginia. The 2011 NCAA Division II Football Championship takes place tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern here on ESPN2. Wayne State versus Pittsburgh State. And the underdog Wayne State program looking to conclude an improbable run in the championship with a national title. For more info, head on over to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Second offensive possession now for Wisconsin-Whitewater, the #1 team in Division III. Another carry here from Coppage. Across the 45, a gain of 4 will set up 2nd and 6.
You know, it's interesting watching this game unfold. I think both coaches are very tense about this first quarter. You want to see how your team's going to show up. You want to see how the players handle playing on the big stage on national television for the title. And right now, both teams, look a little bit sloppy at times, and the coaches are just waiting for the players to settle down in this game and just play football.
Last time Matt Blanchard threw it, he got picked in the end zone. 30th interception by the Mount Union D this season. Play action, rolling to the right is Blanchard. And he'll have to end up running it. Taken down right at the 40, a gain of 3. Nick Driscoll, the OAC Outstanding D-back of the year.
Right here, they run a play action, a little slide route underneath. I thought that Blanchard could have thrown the deep corner route. I always wonder how a quarterback's affected after he throws an interception, gets a little bit more conservative. Either case, though, got some positive yards on the ground for Wisconsin-Whitewater.
There's Driscoll, the senior from Wabash, Indiana. Led his team last week with 13 tackles. Also had 1 tackle for loss. 3rd and 3 from the 40. Blanchard will try and run it. And he'll have it, depending on the mark. Looks like it should be enough. That linesman rolling in, and they're going to back it up and put it right on the yellow line. But the sticks will move.
Well, Mount Union had a blitz coming off the edge right here. You see him, number 21, but Blanchard's able to elude him. Nick Driscoll coming off the edge, and Blanchard throwing for a little athleticism, balance at the end of that run, because if his knee would have gone down short, it would have been a 4th down. Instead, he picks up the first.
9 rushes for the Warhawks, 4 passes thus far. Fake the sweep, and nothing there for Coppage. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and for more on the Warhawk quarterback, Blanchard will go downstairs to Tom.
Dan, you were just mentioning Blanchard's ability to run the football. Keep in mind, he was a triple option quarterback at the high school level. One of the reasons why they get so familiar with some of the bootlegs and the nakeds and the things outside of the pocket, because they know he's capable of being a run-pass threat.
Blanchard with good size too, Tom. 6'3", 225. He's a weight room warrior. The offensive line guys just love him. From the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Menzel in motion. Blanchard to the left, completes to Huber. Gain of 4.
And Blanchard just taking the easy hitch route on the outside to Tyler Huber. But if you're throwing those quick-hitting pass routes, you've got to give the receiver a chance to catch it and make a move. That time just a hair off target to Huber. He was forced to go down. Really felt he could have gotten a couple extra yards if he would have been able to catch that ball and run with it.
Huber, probably the fastest. Wisconsin-Whitewater starting to develop some of that wide receiver savviness. 3rd miscommunication. Corey Robinson, the wide receiver, cut off his route and turned around, and Blanchard went deep. And the punt team will come on for Whitewater.
And I believe that was a missed opportunity for Wisconsin-Whitewater. Mount Union brought the house, created some opportunity on the outside, but just a miscommunication between Matt Blanchard and his wide receivers, not on the same page.
Chris Rochelt out to punt for Wisconsin-Whitewater. Chris Denton standing at his 6. And it'll be fielded inside the 10. Another tough starting spot for Mount Union. 2nd time they're on offense when we return. 0-0, 4:03 left in the first. Welcome back to the NCAA Division III National Championship game presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Scoreless, late stages of the first quarter. And here's what's at stake. Wisconsin-Whitewater looking for their 3rd straight national title and 4th in program history. They're also sporting that 44-game winning streak. For Mount Union, they are looking for their 11th overall national title. Their 10 titles, most in Division II football. If they were to win tonight, And to get title number 11, it would tie Notre Dame for the most college football titles in history. High snap, handled well, put in the belly of Murray. Murray, a little stiff arm and out of bounds at the 12, a gain of 4. Here's our impact players. We start with Mount Union on offense.
Well, Jeremy Murray is the cornerstone of their rushing attack. You can see there 10 games with 100+ yards. And then for Wisconsin-Whitewater, their middle linebacker, Greg Arnold, he's a team captain. He's the smartest guy on the team, leads them in tackles for loss, really their quarterback on the defensive side of the ball.
Arnold, all Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference first team member. Another rush here from Murray. Murray fighting for a little extra, but tough sled in there. But that'll be enough for the first down of the game for the Purple Raiders.
Jeremy Murray really showing a lot of extra oomph at the end of that play. Watch him here, the yards after contact. That's what always impresses coaches. See him there, aware of where the first down is and carrying a few Whitewater defenders with him. I think that was a big first down for Mount Union, just to get that off their back. They were 3 and out the first time. Now they can breathe a little bit easier.
Still haven't crossed the 20 yet, though. Pilotto. And now they're across the 20s. Quick strike, A.J. Claycomb. Second team all-conference performer, a gain of 5.
I have the same criticism for Pilotto as I had earlier for Blanchard. That time, just a short, quick route on the outside. Unfortunately, A.J. Claycomb had to go down to get it. Good news is it is a completion, but you always want to give them a chance to run with it.
2nd and 5. Pilotto looks to the sideline. Larry Karras, the head coach and offensive coordinator for Mount Union.
If they want the short passing game, it's there.
3 wideouts to the left, and that's where he looks. Complete. Another first down. Jasper Collins with the grab. Gain of 8.
When I say the short passing game is there, look at the depth behind them. All those safeties deep. Those short passing lanes are there underneath if Mount Union wants to take them and force that defense to come up to the line of scrimmage. Then you can take your shots over the top.
This is something Mount Union has shown a lot more as the season has progressed. The quick get to the line approach and then look to the sideline for some guidance. Murray, the tailback. He'll protect. Missed a guy and a sack. Kyle Wismer, the sophomore from Spring Grove, Illinois, the loss of 7.
Kyle Wismer is just going to come off the edge on a blitz. Actually, they brought the Mike Sam blitz there. Wismer along with Arnold. Too many guys for Mount Union to handle.
31st sack of the season for the Warhawks. 2nd and 16 now for Mount Union. 7th consecutive year these two programs have met in the Division III National Championship game. Mount Union, the 10-time champs, with a 2nd and 16. They go to the ground. Murray down at the 30, gain of 4.
It's interesting talking to Larry Karras, yesterday before the game, talking about his quarterbacks, said which one he'll go with. He said, well, he's going to feel things out, feel how the game starts to unfold, who has the momentum, who has the hot hand.
He's also going to keep an eye on their eyeballs as well. If anybody's eyes get too big, he said, they're going to come hang with me. 3rd and 12. Pilotto from the shotgun. He's standing at his 25. Broken up. Noah Tim, the junior from Two Rivers, Wisconsin, getting his right mid on it. And the punt team comes on again for the Purple Raiders.
Beautiful break on the ball by Noah Tim on the outside. Recognizes the short route, comes up, leads with his right hand, bats it away, keeps his left hand off the wide receiver. That is about as perfect a form and execution as you can have on the outside for a defensive back.
Brandon Matthey back on the punt. His first punt went 39 yards. Originally went about 22 and then got a good kick and a roll. Much better effort here. Zach Howard fields it as 28 and he's met immediately. And rolled back to the 22. Tyler Allwart with the hit. Scoreless with 24 seconds left in the Division III National Championship game. Carr closing seconds of the first quarter of a scoreless affair between number 1 and number 2. The NCAA and ESPN pleased to announce a new 13-year extension of their agreement that goes through the 2023 and 2024 academic season. Did I just say the year 2024?
Yes, you did.
Man, ESPN has been granted exclusive worldwide rights to 24 NCAA championships, continuing their great coverage of the Women's Division I basketball championships, the Frozen Four, and the Men's and Women's College World Series. Could be final play of the first quarter, complete to the tight end, Jason Ford, who is flipped as he crosses the 35.
Well, it's been a defensive battle so far. You saw right there some of the hitting that's going on the field. Nick Driscoll at the end of that play, laying the wood to Jason Ford just on a short flat route. Both these teams setting the tone defensively so far to the point of this game.
Gain of 9 on first down, and Wisconsin-Whitewater trying to win their 3rd straight NCAA D3 crown. They have outgained Mount Union 79-25, but it's scoreless at the end of the first quarter. Seventh appearance in the Stagg Bowl for Wisconsin-Whitewater. Flashback to last year when they took on this Mount Union side, and Lavelle Coppage was the story, as he's been for years. In Whitewater, 299 yards and 3 touchdowns as Wisconsin-Whitewater won their 2nd straight Division III crown, 31-21.
And I think Steve Dinkel, offensive coordinator for Wisconsin-Whitewater, is going to start handing the ball to Lavelle Coppage a little bit more in this second quarter. They came out a little bit more pass heavy, going through the air. They're going to go back to what works best, and that's a heavy dosage of Lavelle Coppage.
Coppage 6 carries for 18 yards thus far. 2nd and 1, Coppage first down. And with that, we send it to the studio and Ryan Burke.
All right, guys, coming up 8 o'clock on ESPN, the FCS semifinal. 11-2 Montana at 13-0 Sam Houston State, and Tim Flanders second in the FCS with 23 touchdowns. It's coming up 8 o'clock on ESPN, guys.
All right, thank you, Ryan. 1st and 10 situation here. Early stages of the second quarter in a scoreless affair. Number 1 seed Wisconsin-Whitewater looking for their 3rd straight Division III crown in the purple, heading left to right, taking on number 2 seed Mount Union. Blanchard the give, Coppage another carry as he barrels his way towards midfield. Gain of 5. Coppage now 29 yards on 8 carries.
You know, it was interesting talking to Steve Dinkel, offensive coordinator. Rob, you challenged him, said, hey, why don't you give somebody else some carries every once in a while?
The fullback.
And he said, why would I? You know, he said, I think that's kind of what happened early in this game, is that they got a little bit away from, you know, trying to get a little bit cute. It's a national championship. Let's draw up some stuff in the dirt that might be new or creative, but what you're seeing now is more of what works best.
Now they said, we don't see Coppage coming out of the game at all. Another gift to Coppage. Does some nice dancing, and that'll be close to moving the sticks. Nick Driscoll with the tackle. And that will be another first down for Wisconsin-Whitewater.
And the coach is all raved about Lavelle Coppage. You look at 7,700 yards. He's not that far off the career record, which is just over 8,000.
You may wonder where a guy with these type of numbers ended up falling to Division III. As a senior in high school, he fell off the radar. A lot of MAC schools were after him. He had a nasty high ankle sprain, missed 5 games, and everybody backed away from him. Former Whitewater player was his high school coach and said, hey, you need to look at this program. Blanchard looking for a big play. Flag is thrown. Intended for Zach Howard. Chaz Jordan, who had the interception in the end zone in the first, may have had a big interference call here.
Well, because they had ran Coppage a few times in a row, Mount Union was starting to recognize that, getting a lot of guys up involved in the run game, which opened the opportunity for a deep attempt.
This is the first penalty of the game.
We have defensive pass interference on number 20. That's a 15-yard foul from the previous spot. First down.
Jordan, the 4-year starter, flagged for that one.
Well, Chaz Jordan, at the end of the play, he's out of position, loses sight of where the ball is, jumps up and clearly gets Zach Howard. If he wouldn't have made contact, it might have been a better play, but there just loses a little bit of body control. Chaz Jordan, who earlier had the interception, that's about as easy a call as you'll get as an official.
Oh, you could sense the panic from Jordan all the way up here. Tons of guys on the line here. Coppage trying to dance around him, and he'll get right back to the line of scrimmage. Tom?
It's Leipold. He talked about his running backs coach, Nelson Edmonds, and some of the things he's worked with Coppage on, like using head fakes and using your eyes to control defenders and try and influence linebackers. And if you remember, guys, Coach Leipold said, I coached running backs. I never taught any of that stuff. He thinks his running back coach is special and has made his running back, Lavelle Coppage, even more special.
Yeah, Tom makes a great point about the way he sets up safeties, a little jump step, head steps him and gets him out of position and then cuts the ball upfield.
They say his football savviness is what sets him apart. Blanchard rolling to his left, slings that one. Caught by number 7, Steve Morris, the sophomore, with the grab, a pickup of 8.
I think we're seeing a lot of what Tom talked about earlier in the game about Blanchard being a mobile quarterback, able to get out of that pocket. When they do, it creates throwing lanes to the outside where you can get easy completions like that one to Steve Morris. Here in this situation, 3rd and 2, I'd really expect them to give it to their workhorse, Lavelle Coppage, number 33 in the backfield. It's not a bad opportunity to take a chance though on play action, knowing you'll go for it on 4th.
Blanchard instead will give it to Coppage. Coppage forced back. Swarmed by the white jerseys of the Mount Union Raiders.
Well, that was one of the reasons I thought they might try a play action, because Mount Union sold out to that run. They were expecting Coppage to get it, had a lot of guys around it. You see the linebackers shooting the gaps, great penetration up front, all throughout. That's what you need from Mount Union. You need 6, 7, 8 white jerseys around Coppage to bring him down.
Loss of 4 on that play, so for the first time, we'll have a field goal attempt. This will be from 44 yards for Eric Kindler. And it's good. He had hit twice from 47 this season, and this one in the title game, good from 44. Wisconsin-Whitewater on the board first. 3-0, Warhawks. Welcome back to Salem, Virginia, and our continuing live coverage of the Division III National Championship. Coverage of the NCAA football continues Saturday on ESPN2 and ESPNU, 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Wayne State, Pittsburgh State in the D2 title game. And then at 2:30 over on ESPNU, Georgia Southern, North Dakota State in the semifinals of the FCS Championship. NCAA football presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car on ESPN2 and ESPNU tomorrow. Blair Skilleter back to return this one. He steps forward, fields it at the 10. Skilleter colliding at the 25. And I'll mark him down around the 26.
And now for Mount Union, it's really their chance to try to answer with some offense. Wisconsin-Whitewater's been able to move the ball, had a couple mistakes, had to settle for a field goal, but Mount Union has struggled so far to get much positive yardage in this game.
Pilato remains at quarterback. They will use Neil Seaman at some point through the course of this one. Shotgun complete. Grab by Collins as he just crosses the 30 after that reception.
You saw Matt Pilato working from the pocket. Pure pocket passer. Tom Luganville, tell us a little bit more about Pilato.
You know, Pilato tonight to me looks a bit tentative. Looks like he's aiming the ball a little bit, as opposed to Matt Blanchard for Wisconsin-Whitewater really unleashing it. And the difference between Pilato and Seaman is if he's rushed, he's not going to buy time to get out of trouble.
On 2nd and 6, the give to Murray. And Murray fumbles it at the end of that play, out of bounds.
You know, it's interesting what Tom said about Pilato. Let's look at the end of that play. That ball did get squirted out there, clearly out of bounds. So no turnover situation. But Pilato, you know, looking a little bit tentative right now. As a coach, that's probably the hardest thing for you to do, because you can't talk a guy out of that tentative nature. You just have to hope that he overcomes it. Sometimes it takes a hit in the mouth to get yourself into that game and start letting it loose.
3rd and 2. Murray may have enough.
Jeremy Murray running tough for those extra yards. Knew where the chains were, gave it that second effort. You see Murray right here. Met in the backfield, powers his way through.
That's a couple times tonight we've been able to see him get a few more yards after the initial contact. Murray just 5'8", 190. Larry Karras watching, 1st and 10 for the Purple Raiders. Another carry for Murray. Crosses the 40, down at the 41. A gain of 3 on 1st down. 2nd and 7, under 10 to go here in the opening half.
And as a quarterback, if you're Pilato and you're not feeling it, if your running game gets going, it just helps you mentally. You start seeing guys succeed. You start seeing 2nd and 7s instead of 2nd and 10 and 11s. So you're more willing to take chances. You play with more confidence because everybody around you is playing better.
Mount Union trying to win their 700th game in program history tonight. Pilato completes, and again right at the sticks. Denton with the grab and another 1st down.
Right here, another short, quick, easy throw, a slant route on the inside, Pilato delivers a nice low throwing ball. If you're gonna throw a slant over the middle, it's better to miss low where the receiver can go down and get it, because if you miss high, it could be tipped up and intercepted.
6th play of the drive here. 1st and 10, Pilato looking to the sidelines, and his head coach and offensive coordinator, Larry Karras. The Raiders 14-0 this season, number 2 seed in Division III. Incomplete, intended for Collins.
That time, Jasper Collins on a little inside slant route, really a slant-ish route, more of a hitch. But Pilato just off target there. And you see what happens when Mount Union runs their offense. They get up to the line, they run a cadence, and then Pilato looks over to the sideline. What they're doing is Larry Karras is trying to give the best possible play for his offense to succeed.
On 2nd and 10, a completion to Collins. At midfield, flags thrown in late, a couple now. Noah Tim with the tackle.
Well, a few flags came in. Something was very obvious. I think there might have been a little bit of face mask. You even saw Jasper Collins come up and signal it himself. Noah Tim.
Personal foul, face mask, number 31 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yeah, that was the rough one right there. Noah Tim, number 31, clearly got all of that face mask of Jasper Collins. Officials are all over it.
15-yard penalty. This will be the first play run in Wisconsin-Whitewater territory tonight for Mount Union. Through a double team and another completion, a pickup of 5 by Collins.
That's about as tight as a window as you will see by Matt Pilato, throwing it between a couple linebackers to a little stick route on the inside. See him looking there all the way. Nicely thrown ball. Ryan Cortez is there for the tackle and good coverage, but there truly is no defense for a perfectly placed football.
Collins, 4 grabs for 19 yards thus far, 2nd and 5. Murray remains in at tailback. Pilato, little shoulder fake, heaves it up. This might be picked, and it is. 2nd interception of the game. Each side now has 1. 24th interception for Whitewater this season. For Pilato, his 3rd pick he's thrown in the last 2 games.
Well, they've been running so many slant routes that they try to double move on the outside. Watch the bottom of your screen, a slant and go, or the old sluggo, as they call it in football terms. Really wasn't there, though. Wisconsin-Whitewater did a good job staying at home, staying back, not biting on the fake. And if you're Matt Pilato, you've got to stay back, just throw it away or eat it. You can't just force it up there.
Both teams have now thrown deep interceptions. One in the end zone, and now this one at about the 4-yard line. Blanchard under center. Coppage snuck through an initial hole. Took that one to about the 9, a gain of 6 on 1st down. That's a big gain of 6.
Well, Lavelle Coppage obviously knows how to do a lot with a little. When you have 7,700 career yards, you're going to be able to find holes and make something out of nothing. And that time, a little crease is all he needed to turn that play into a 6-yard gain.
11 carries for 40 yards already for Coppage. He had 299 in last year's title game. Coppage, 33 touchdowns in 17 NCAA tournament games alone coming in to tonight. 2nd and 4. More Coppage. A generous yard will give him. Carbonell with the tackle.
And right now, Wisconsin-Whitewater, where they're trying to get something going offensively, I got to believe for Mount Union, they're talking about what's going to happen with their quarterback. See number 12 right there, Neil Seaman, getting loose, getting warmed up, keeping his blood flowing, because Larry Karras, the head coach for Mount Union, did mention, hey, I won't hesitate to play both of the quarterbacks, whoever gives us the best chance to win. And it does look like Neil Seaman is getting more prepared to go into this game.
Seaman's got the lid on. Pilato has it on his hip. But they're going to have to wait out this 3rd and 3 here. Blanchard's going to run it. And he may have enough. Carried that one a little loosely at the end, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
Just a design quarterback run the entire way. Matt Blanchard tries to find a crease. That is about as close as it gets. I think they got the benefit of a solid spot. They're going to come out and measure this.
Chaz Jordan had the tackle. Was it shy of the marker or not? Some chain gain confusion, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. Tom?
Yeah, guys, the line judge on the Mount Union sideline, as he's walking in onto the spot, he's waving the chain crew down as if it's a 1st down. They set the ball down. The head referee comes in and says, no, 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 my timeout, let's measure it. So they had to take the chains back. That's a little bit risky if you're Mount Union on defense. Vince Karras, the defensive coordinator, wasn't overly happy with that.
And you can't really blame him. So 1st down. Lance Leipold watching on. Conference Coach of the Year. Both these head coaches, former players at the respective programs. Another carry here from Coppage. Flag on the play. Rob Stone, Danny Cannell, Tom Luganville here with you in Salem, Virginia. Number 1 versus number 2 for the Division III football title.
We have a dead ball, personal foul, number 7 on the defense, 15 yards, 1st down.
Well, it's interesting, at the end of that play, Alex Ferreira, number 7 for Mount Union, was a little tussle there with number 11, Corey Robinson. Watch at the end, blocking the play. You know, that's, to me, that just looks like football. Guys, a little bit salty at the end of that play. But the officials obviously promoting good sportsmanship, want to make sure that nothing gets out of hand. They call that penalty. But to me, that's just part of what happens every day during a game.
Second 15-yard penalty of the night on the Raiders. 1st and 10, approaching 5.5 left in the first half. Another carry here from Coppage. That'll be his 15th carry of the evening already.
Steve Dinkel, offensive coordinator from Wisconsin-Whitewater, clearly feeding his workhorse. That time there, they showed a bubble pass to the outside. Nice little deception, and then handed the draw to Coppage, finding any way he can to try to deceive the defense and get their defenders out of position and find a crease for Coppage. You've got to believe the more you keep feeding him the rock, the more opportunity he has to squirt one out of there for a big play.
Blanchard. First down. Huber with the reception. Both these programs at 14-0, meeting for the 7th consecutive year in the Division III National Championship game, the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl here, Salem Stadium in Salem, Virginia, just outside of Roanoke.
Well, as much as Mount Union has struggled on offense, Wisconsin-Whitewater with the ball now is doing pretty much what they want. And Mount Union is playing a bend, don't break style of defense. Matt Blanchard looks comfortable. Coppage is getting solid yardage, but they haven't been able to get it in the end zone yet.
7th play of the drive. 16th carry for Coppage, and he's met in the backfield.
Well, Matt Fetchko, number 91, great penetration. He's only a sophomore. Not the biggest guy, and Vince Karras, his coach, the defensive coordinator, said he runs the line. He's really tough to block. We saw a perfect example of that play right there with a nice tackle for a loss.
Fetchko, a starter since game 2 of last year. First team All-Ohio Athletic Conference this season was the sophomore from Twinsburg, Ohio. 2nd and 13 now for Blanchard and the Warhawks. Here's a reception by Coppage to the 45, to midfield. First down. Gain of 14. Alex Nichols pushing him out of bounds, and a flag on the floor.
Looks like it's going to be a hold on number 11, possibly Corey Robinson for Wisconsin-Whitewater.
Okay, we have a first down. Now we have a dead ball, personal foul, number 8 on the offense. That's a 15-yard foul. It'll be 1st and 10.
Call that one on Luke Menzel.
And right now, you know, both of these teams, they're obviously well coached with the consistency with which they win. And both coaches right now are probably a little frustrated at some of these penalties after the play is dead, which are killing drives and giving teams first down. You know they've got to be frustrated right now.
All 4 penalties tonight have been of the 15-yard variety.
It's the top of your screen. Right there, coming into your screen. Right at the top, right here, watch the extracurricular activity after trying to get in front of him on a block, but that ball was out of bounds when he made that.
Gain of 14 for a first down, now loss of 15 on the penalty. Another carry here by Coppage.
You know, it's interesting seeing this play on the field get a little bit chippy out there. Asking both teams about the rivalry, they both described it as a tremendous amount of respect. It's not like they hate each other. They respect the other as a fair competitor, somebody that they love to go against. But I think you do see the way they feel and how bad they want this game, and each team wants to win that title.
They say it's not a rivalry because it's not a quote-unquote planned game. Well, folks have been planning on this for 7 years in a row. Lavelle Koppel to the 58, or rather the 48.
A little bit of conservative play call there. Long yardage situation. But hey, Coppage can break it at any time. And what he basically did was give you an opportunity at 3rd down and 5 here. Much more manageable situation.
3rd and 5 as we approach 2 minutes left in the first half. A 44-yard Eric Kindler field goal, the only scoring here in the D3 title game. Huber in motion. Blanchard, shotgun, fakes the give. Play action. Steps up. Blanchard's going to try and run it. And he's not going to get it. Ravazzo with the tackle.
Give credit to Mount Union's defense. Didn't bite on the play action pass. Blanchard stuck it into Coppage and just kept getting after Matt Blanchard. Chris Favazzo, number 91, also Matt Fetchko in on the play, and just getting after the quarterback. Vince Karras, their coordinator, said it's going to take 11 tacklers every play to make sure that ball carrier is down. That's exactly what happened there. They persistently went after Blanchard until he was down short of the first down.
Loss of one on the Favazzo sack. Denton waiting at his 18, shifts to his right. He won't be able to field this one as it kicks towards the 10 and then curls away and down close to the 14. 56 seconds left in the opening half of this year's D3 national title game. Wisconsin-Whitewater up 3-0. Seventh straight meeting here at the Stagg Bowl between the University of Mount Union Raiders and Wisconsin-Whitewater. They have split those last 6, 3-3. It's game 7 here tonight in Salem.
Unbelievable.
You add up the scores of those 6 games and they're separated by 1 solitary point. Rob Stone, Danny Cannell, Tom Luganville here with you. Closing seconds of the opening half. A rush here. Jeremy Murray with the carry, and we send it to Ryan Burr in the studio.
Thanks a lot, Rob. Coming up at the half, I'll be joined by Rod Gilmore. Get the latest testimony from the Jerry Sandusky sex abuse case at Penn State, the preliminary hearings today from Harrisburg. And we'll also take a look at LSU Alabama, the BCS title game, part 2. Another rematch, guys. We'll see you in less than a minute.
Thank you, Ryan. LSU, Bama. Time to start the talk. Conservative play call right up the middle.
So look at Lavelle Coppage, the workhorse for Wisconsin-Whitewater, actually heading into half a little bit earlier than the rest of his team. I wonder what's going on there. Maybe to get a little extra time off because he's had his hands full carrying that ball.
Well, he's ahead of the curve all day long. Tom Luganville standing by live with Larry Karras.
Coach, you've had close ball games with Wisconsin-Whitewater throughout the series. 3-0 down right now. Do you make change at quarterback?
We'll talk about it. We might, but we want to stay in this game until the 4th quarter. We're the underdogs. Pressure's not on us. We're playing really good on defense. We've got to play better on offense. But we want to stay in the game and make it go the full 60 minutes.
A bend but don't break philosophy on defense. Any adjustments on that side of the ball?
Well, we've had a little trouble on the dash pass. We might want to get more pressure on the quarterback on that. But they've outgained us, but they've only got 3 points. That's the key right now.
Thanks, Coach. Guys?
Well, outgained us might be an understatement. 142 yards of offense for Wisconsin-Whitewater, just 54 for Mount Union. 3-0 at the break. Wisconsin-Whitewater, your #1 seed on top. The NCAA Division III Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It's the lowest scoring half of this series. 3-0 at the break between #1 Wisconsin-Whitewater and #2 Mount Union. Rob Stone, Danny Cannell back here with you in Salem, Virginia. These two programs both average over 35 yards a game offensively. We haven't seen that in the first half.
No, I'm wondering if I'm watching Division III or the SEC out there. I think both offenses are going to have to go in, make some adjustments, just go out there and execute better.
The Home Depot coaching adjustments will focus on the 2 turnovers this game, both of them poorly thrown interceptions.
Well, if you look at the first interception of the game thrown by Matt Blanchard, right here it was a 3rd down and 3 situation. They're trying to hit the hook flat combination on the strong side. We see the tight end slip out on the backside post, and really what Blanchard did here, he gets in trouble there. When it's not there, he scrambles out, makes a really poor decision. You saw 3 Mount Union defenders in that area, forces the ball up there, The worst case, you get a field goal, and they might have been able to go for it on 4th down because it was a short yardage situation. For Mount Union, you look at Matt Pilato's interception. They're trying to throw a double move route on the outside. Whitewater actually brings a Mike Will blitz. You see the stunt in the middle, and they do get pressure, but if it's not there, this looks almost identical. Look at the defenders sitting back. They didn't bite at all on the double move. Somehow, some way, you've got to find a way to get rid of that ball or just take the sack. Looking forward to the second half, it's really going to come down. This game is tight. You cannot afford to turn the ball over. The quarterbacks have to be smarter with the football and execute their reads and just be smart with the football.
Numbers heavily in favor of Wisconsin-Whitewater, but they're only up 3-0 as we start the second half. There's Skilleter from Mount Union. We'll give that one up. Julius Moore with the return, and Moore switching directions and dives towards the 30. So who will be the quarterback coming out to start the second half, Tom?
Well, guys, I think Mount Union really needs to make some adjustments, and that means going with Neil Seaman, the quarterback that started the first 8 weeks of the season. And the reason being, he's a better athlete. He brings that extra added dimension to be able to create and improvise, keep plays alive with his legs. Matt Pilato has struggled to move this offense, and he hasn't had the ability to be able to create when things break down in front of him. They've got to do something to force Wisconsin-Whitewater to defend the quarterback.
That'll be Pilato to start the second half. Just 31 yards passing for Pilato, 6 of 10. They go to the ground game, and Murray goes nowhere.
I'm in agreement with Tom. I mean, you look at Mount Union the first half, their longest play from scrimmage is 8 yards. They're getting no production, and they've just struggled offensively. And you talk about making a change, a spark. Neil Seaman might be able to add another dimension by getting out of the pocket, making a play when things are dead. But knowing Larry Karras, he's going to let this play out. I bet he gives Matt Pilato a series or 2. But if nothing changes, I bet he will make the change at quarterback.
Pilato, complete. Out of bounds, close to the first down marker. A.J. Claycomb with the reception.
Matt Pilato looked a lot more confident on that throw, set his feet. And look at the defensive battle we see right now. No big plays by either offense.
That one went for 9, so now the longest play of the game for the Raiders.
Both defenses playing solid, fundamental football. They're tackling, they're wrapping up. You don't see many missed tackles. But we really haven't seen many attempts at the deep ball, and the times we did, they were turnovers.
This just the 6th first down for Mount Union tonight. Larry Karras completed his 6th straight undefeated regular season this year, and 23rd overall. No, the sticks come back. Premature stick movement.
Larry Karras wants to know what's going on. See the end of this play. Right where he went out of bounds. Just short. So now a 3rd down and short for Mount Union to keep this drive alive. And you always talk about a team coming out of the locker room. Really believe they need to capture momentum here if you're Mount Union.
Murray the carry and the first down and a whole lot more. Closing in on midfield, Jeremy Murray, his 12th carry of the game. He's now at 42 yards.
Well, you would expect them to run behind the left side of their line. You see the big boys up front, Matt Maddox, number 68, left tackle, number 77, Antonio Tate. Their left tackle is their best blocker. He's their MVP of the offensive line. You would have expected them to do exactly what they did and run behind their strength.
Mount Union, the number 2 seed in the white, going right to left. Pilato over the middle, complete, another first down. The grab by Brandon Brown.
You know, Matt Pilato looks a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident, and a lot more decisive on his throws. That makes such a difference. Watch him set his back foot, doesn't hesitate, delivers a bullet on the hook route up top. See right there, you have a flat defender clearing out, and Pilato throws it right behind the linebacker's ear.
Gain of 13 on first down, the 4th different receiver with the grab.
And a new high for a long yard.
Denton coughs it up at the end of that play. Very little there. For more on Pilato, we'll go downstairs to Tom.
Danny, you're exactly right. He's driving off the back foot, throwing with velocity and authority, but more than anything, look at him around the team. Look at him around the huddle. Got a little hop in his step, little sense of urgency to his game. This is a different guy from a mentality standpoint right now, Matt Pilato.
Freshman year, he was redshirted in Tampa at USF, didn't play, took off a year, and then found his way to Alliance, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Complete, out of bounds, short of the 35, down close to the 36. It was A.J. Claycomb, another grab. That one good for 3.
Right here, Wisconsin-Whitewater going to bring a corner off the edge. Nice route adjustment by the receiver up top. Just comes off and says, hey, giving me an easy route. Smart play there by Pilato and his receiver, number 81, A.J. Claycomb.
7th play of the drive, 3rd and 7 coming up. Just 2 for 4 on 3rd down is Mount Union. Pilato looking big, overthrew his man, intended for Denton.
That time Pilato went for the home run, was really feeling it for the first time. Mount Union looked like they had some rhythm on offense, but to Wisconsin-Whitewater's credit, when they needed a big stop, they came up with it. Solid coverage across the board. And this, you know, looking at the decision to punt here, really probably going to be a field position game, much like it was in the first half. And you heard Larry Karras say it before halftime, I want to be in this game in the 4th quarter.
Zach Howard standing at his 10. Brandon Matthew punts of 39 and 42. Lost this one up. Bounces inside the 5 and knocked down. Great eye-hand coordination to get a paw on that one and kill it at the 3. When we return, a Montana Sam Houston State update. 3-0 Wisconsin-Whitewater on top.
Ryan Burr in studio. Got an update from the FCS semifinal over on ESPN. Montana taking on Sam Houston State. And you want to see a running back, Tim Flanders, 69 yards. This guy can flat out play. Sam Houston State up 14-zip. Still in the 1st quarter. Rob?
If you want to beat Montana, get them on the road. That's your best chance. Prepare your couches, refrigerators, wives, and girlfriends. A triple header of bowl action coming your way tomorrow on Capital One Bowl Week. Temple, Wyoming at 2. The proud Bobcat program of Ohio University at 5:30 versus Utah State. And then down to New Orleans at 9. First offensive possession of the 2nd half for Wisconsin-Whitewater. And a strong carry on 1st down by Coppage. That'll go for 9. We saw Coppage head to the locker room ahead of his teammates at halftime. Spoke with the staff, who said he's fine.
But what a luxury to have a back like that when you're backed up, coming out of your own end zone. You hand it him and you get 8-9 yards a pop. Buy yourself some room. Opens up the playbook a lot more now for Wisconsin-Whitewater. 19
carries for 58 yards for Coppage. Also has 1 reception that went for 14. 2nd and 1. More Coppage. Should be enough for a 1st down. 7th consecutive meeting here at the Stagg Bowl for the Division III National Championship. Wisconsin-Whitewater seeking their 3rd straight title. Mount Union in pursuit of their 11th. They won their first in 1993, also won it in 96, 97, 98, 2000, 2001, 2002, 5, 6, and 8. A title today, and they would tie Notre Dame for the most college football titles in history at 11. On 1st down, Coppage, flag thrown in.
There were flags down during the run.
There's nothing like a drive killer than a holding call up front, which this is probably going to be on Wisconsin-Whitewater.
We have holding, number 58 on the offense, half the distance to the goal line, repeat first down.
On the center, Johansson, third penalty of the game on the Warhawks.
Number 58, the center, after he snaps right there. You saw him right behind the defender there, getting a little bit too much jersey, a lot of jersey there at the end. They say holding takes place on every play across that offensive line, but when you see that jersey separate that much, the officials are going to call it every single time.
Coppage has touched the ball on 10 of the last 13 plays, and he'll get another touch here. Short gain. Gain of 2, the tackle by Driscoll.
Nick Driscoll, one of our impact players at the start of the game, said what an important part he would play coming up and to support that run defense, and that's what he did that time. Just shot the gap and caught a piece of Lavelle Coppage's legs, enough to get him on the ground.
Vince Karras, the defensive coordinator and son of head coach Larry, said he's probably our best defensive player. He's been our defensive MVP. There's Vince coaching with his dad. We asked him, how is it coaching with dad? He said 99% of the time it's pretty good. He had to have a few words with dad yesterday during the walkthrough. On 2nd and 15, Whitewater goes to the ground. Pickup of 4, so 3rd and about 12 on deck here for Wisconsin-Whitewater.
I got to believe Vince Karras is very happy with the way his defense has played to this point, containing Lavelle Coppage. Wisconsin-Whitewater was able to move the ball. They did have more yardage than Mount Union offensively, but for the most part, their defense has done the job.
Coppage 65 yards rushing. Whitewater 3 for 7 on 3rd downs here, and this is a big one, 3rd and 11. They give to Coppage. He's met in the backfield. Excellent defensive penetration. Charles Diesel, the big engine, with the hit.
Right here, Mount Union sells out, which is a little unusual on 3rd and 11, but watch all these defenders come on this side. They brought the house. Everybody comes, and literally Lavelle Coppage with nowhere to run. Another big stop from Mount Union, forcing another punt.
Chris Rochel about a yard deep inside his end zone. Chris Denton waiting at the 42. Great chance here for Mount Union. And a booming punt. And that'll kick out on the other side of midfield. Lavelle Coppage had 299 in last year's title game, has been bottled up slightly this year. 65 yards on 23 carries for the All-American.
NCAA Division III College Football Championship, brought to you by Toyota.
Students finished finals yesterday at the University of Mount Union, so they could come down on buses, make that 6.5-hour venture here.
They came dressed to impress, too.
They did. They didn't bring the little handkerchief like you have in your coat pocket.
I'll teach them up.
They'll work on that. 1st and 10. And looking for a big play. Hit as he released and intercepted. Second pick today thrown by Pilato.
And man, Wisconsin-Whitewater had a ton of pressure on Matt Pilato just as he was setting his feet to make that throw. He got absolutely lit up by not one, but a couple of Wisconsin-Whitewater defenders. Here's Matt Pilato. He's been doing so well, setting his feet, but this time tries to and gets sandwiched in a couple. He had the opportunity on the out route. Another good break by Noah Tim. You can see why he's an all-conference defender. We saw him with a picture-perfect play earlier in the first half. That one, another one, a nice break on the football, and a good catch on the interception.
Casper and the net with the pressure. Tim with the interception. Matt Blanchard. Huber. It's got a hole. Close to the 40. First down.
Tyler Huber, one of our impact players, showing why right there. Just a little bubble screen. The coaches said he's very savvy as a route runner and as a ball carrier. He showed just a little bit of a head fake move that allowed him to break a tackle and get those extra yards. And now Wisconsin-Whitewater with an opportunity to take advantage of the turnover by Noah Tim.
Gain of 15. Huber now with 35 yards receiving. 1st and 10. 24th carry for Coppage. Give him 2 or 3 as we send it to the studio and Ryan Burke.
All right, Rob, FCS semifinal over on ESPN. It's Montana and Sam Houston State, and right now it's all Sam Houston State. 13-0 on the year. Grant Merritt from Brian Bell. It's 21-zip at the end of the first quarter.
So Sam Houston State trying to go to 14-0. Both of these programs here at 14-0. Number 2 Mount Union and number 1 Wisconsin-Whitewater. The Warhawks on the drive. Blanchard avoids the sack and finally dropped.
And that play looked ugly, but it was actually pretty smart by Matt Blanchard. The quarterback was going to throw the quick hitting route on the outside, but Mount Union was all over it, jumped the route. Matt Blanchard pulled it back in. Watch the quick route on the outside. Blanchard was thinking about throwing it, pulled it back down, and sometimes a sack is not the worst thing in the world.
Loss of 4 brings up 3rd and 12. Whitewater trying to capitalize off of the interception. Coppage lined up behind Blanchard. Howard in motion. Blanchard flags on the play. Blanchard will run it and have a 1st down. But you sense this one may be coming back.
And Blanchard actually where he went out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like he might have been short.
It's like you have to have field awareness, but I don't think it's going to matter because I think this play is coming back.
That might have been his field awareness. Avoid the hit and just get out of bounds.
We have holding on the offense, number 62. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Because he senses he's going to be coming back. Ryan Olson, the starting right tackle, with the flag.
Number 62. Wow, just hooks him, hog ties him there. Brings the defensive end down. And that is 2 costly holding penalties for Wisconsin-Whitewater. And they are such drive killers when you get those holding penalties. That will drive a coach nuts.
Brings up a 3rd and 22. The playbook a little thin on 3rd and 22 calls.
I wouldn't mind seeing them take a shot down the field, and if it's intercepted, it's just like a punt.
Blanchard scrambling, throws it out of bounds. Punt team will come on.
Well, the defensive battle continues here between these 2 teams. Mount Union, that time comes up with a big stop. You thought Wisconsin-Whitewater had a little bit of momentum coming off the interception, but Mount Union stepped it up.
Neither team has been able to capitalize on the 3 interceptions tonight. You're only scoring a 44-yard field goal by Eric Kindler. Chris Denton standing at his 20. And tackled immediately at the 16. Who will be the quarterback for Mount Union? Chris Pilato or Neil Seaman? Mount Union. Purple Raiders trying to get on the scoreboard. They're down 3-0 in the 3rd. Images from this year as the NCAA Division III National Championship game presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car rolls on. 1 field goal, no touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter. Neil Seaman staying loose, but it'll be Matt Pilato to come back out. for the Purple Raiders.
Well, even the last interception Pilato threw really wasn't his fault. He was under heavy duress.
Pilato takes the snap under duress here, and he goes down inside the 5. Ryan Cortez with a big sack.
Brian Borland said, the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin-Whitewater said Ryan Cortez was their hardest hitter. Said he came out of nowhere, just going to come right off the edge, bottom of your screen. Comes unblocked and gets Pilato with a sack for a huge gain. And I know Ryan Cortez's parents are happy right now. We saw them out to dinner. They traveled in here from Illinois to watch their son play. Just a sophomore.
I'm thinking Papa Cortez has a wrestling background. 2nd and 21 after the loss of 11. Pilato with the reception or the completion to the 10. A step out of bounds by Brandon Brown at the 10.
And now this game, which both teams have struggled so much offensively, could get even more challenging with the rain coming down now. It's going to make it tougher for ball handling, throwing the ball. It's always a nightmare for a quarterback. You'd rather have snow because it's drier. This rain is so tough to get a good grip on that ball.
Rain through much of the afternoon and through a lot of warm-ups here, then stopped, and now it's picking up with 4:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Pilato under heat, and this may be a safety. He coughs it up, recovered at the 1. Cole Klotz with the recovery. 3rd turnover of the game on Mount Union.
Well, Wisconsin-Whitewater had 3 down linemen, but they brought 2 linebackers straight up the gut. Little cross blitz right there, and no chance for Pilato. That ball comes loose. And what a big turnover created by Whitewater's defense. You see, Matt Pilato really had no chance. I love number 97, Lou Manette, going for that ball, getting aggressive, trying to swat it out there. But, man, that was an aggressive defense. Tom Luganville, what'd you get down there?
Well, I love the approach by defensive coordinator Boland. Came after that quarterback, Matt Pilato. Great philosophy.
Coppage the carry and his 109th career touchdown.
Well, Coppage got the touchdown, but that assist should definitely go to Whitewater's defense for creating that turnover. And now Mount Union, faced with what's probably going to be a 10-point deficit, can be forced to try to open things up a little bit offensively.
Kindler on for the extra point. And Wisconsin-Whitewater in double digits. They lead 10-0, 4:02 to go in the 3rd.
Well, the defense sets up the offense, but big turnover against the quarterback. And who else do you think would take it in but their go-to guy, Lavelle Kopich?
This week on Monday Night Football, Frank Gore and the Niners welcome Big Ben and the Steelers. 8:30 Eastern. That one also available on Watch ESPN. Coverage will begin at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. Pilato, 2 picks and a fumble. Will it be Pilato or number 12, Neil Seaman, who is buckled up and looks like he's ready to roll?
Well, if they stick with Matt Pilato, they have got to do a better job of protecting him, because he is not a scrambler, not somebody who's going to run around and make plays outside of the pocket. If they stick with him, they've got to give him a chance, let him set his feet.
$10-0. Whitewater up. Skilleter spins at the 25, and we'll be able to pick up a couple more yards after the initial contact. The rain picking up. Let's go down to our meteorologist, Tom Luganville.
Yeah, guy, we got a low pressure front coming in with some drizzle hitting the field right now. And you know what? As hard as yards have been to come by tonight, to get a 10-point lead with water coming down like this, it's only going to help Wisconsin-Whitewater all the much more.
And then to bring in a quarterback cold off the bench, Neil Seaman, the junior from Louisville, Ohio. Began the season as the starter. He's much more mobile, can run some, but he is playing with a slight knee injury. Gives it off to Jeremy Murray. Pickup of 1 on first, 2nd and 9 as we're under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
And Neil Seaman that time, he talked about the weather conditions. Tom just did. Watch the snap. Bobbles it a little bit. That little double hitch there. That ball is slick when it comes up to you, but I think Neil Seaman is going to give them an advantage because he can make plays with his legs.
Seaman didn't play in the semifinals due to a flu. Hands that one off to Murray. Murray across the 30. They'll mark him down right around the 31.
Well, Larry Karras described his quarterback situation, said it's really a feel thing. That was his words. Said, I'm going to feel the game, see how it's going. And really, I think it was a pretty easy decision for Larry Karras to make the way the game has unfolded. He was forced to make a change and try to create a spark offensively.
Total yards tonight, just 81 for Mount Union. Coppage has outgained him himself. 3rd and 6. Seaman may have to throw a high snap brought in. Pressured from behind, the lefty heaves it, 1st down. Complete to Brown. Well, the heat was coming from the backside, and Seaman could feel it.
Well, that was the distinct difference that Neil Seaman brings. He felt the pressure, was able to get outside of the pocket and make a throw on the run. He's a lefty. You saw the bad snap, but watch the pocket movement. You saw the defender, number 59, chasing him down from the back. But Neil Seaman buys a little bit of time, finds a throwing lane, and comes up with a big throw.
Good grab for Brown for 30 yards. That one went for 12. 1st and 10. Murray across the 45, gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up as we approach 2 minutes left in the third quarter of the NCAA Division III National Championship game presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rob Stone, Danny Cannell, Tom Luganville on the sideline with you tonight from Salem, Virginia. Rain in the air right now, light mist falling as the temperatures have fallen all night long. New quarterback on now for Mount Union, the junior Neil Seaman. 2nd and 7 from the 46. Seaman will run it across midfield. Hit from behind will be enough though for a 1st down.
And once again, you see why Neil Seaman is in the game. It's plays like that with his legs.
And you see him slow to get up and some hobble now, again bothered by a knee injury, and he's heading towards the sideline. At the conclusion of this run, hit from behind and dragging that left knee, and Seaman out. Pilato checks back in.
Oh, and just when Mount Union tried to fight, they started to find a little momentum. Now the question is, can Matt Pilato capitalize on that momentum that his offense has?
Let's see what Pilato has between the ears here. A tough situation to drop him in. He hands it off. Murray. Gain of 1 on 1st down, so 2nd and 9. Lusant Minette, the sophomore from Whitewater, Wisconsin, with the tackle.
Well, also, as Brian Borland, the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin-Whitewater, you can get much more aggressive knowing that the quarterback is going to probably be 8 or 9 yards within the pocket. You know that pass point you're going to rush to. Whole nother ball game.
Another carry by Murray, gets around the right side, held shy of the 40. Kyle Wismer, linebacker, 1st-year starter from Spring Grove, Illinois, with the tackle after the gain of 3.
That time Jeremy Murray just gang tackled by a host of Wisconsin-Whitewater defenders.
Murray now 17 carries for 53 yards. On the flip side, Coppage 25 carries, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. 3rd and 6. Will they get it off before the end of the third quarter? Pilato. Complete and a 1st down. Hit immediately was Jasper Collins, just short of the 30. And that is how the third quarter in the Division III National Championship game will end. Wisconsin-Whitewater on top 10-0. The only touchdown came in the 3rd. But the Purple Raiders are driving down 10. University of Mount Union 118-0 when they win the turnover battle. They are not winning that battle today. They trail it 3-1, but the Raiders are driving right now. 118-0 since '96. Startling. Neil Seaman popping a little Dr. Feelgood there, perhaps. I'm sure it's just that bad. Pilato, play action, drops that one in, complete to Brown.
Well, Matt Pilato, when he sets his feet, when they protect him, the second half, he has made really solid throws down the field. This time, just a deep comeback route on the outside. The thing that was impressive about this throw, Pilato dropped it right over the arms of the flat defender.
Brown, their leading receiver tonight, 4 grabs for 42 yards. Flags all over the place here. Ryan Cortez with the tackle. Cortez. Some big hits here today. It's the first time in the red zone for Mount Union.
Well, Wisconsin-Whitewater's been hurt by a few holding calls of their own. Now it looks like Mount Union is going to be faced with a holding call.
We have 2 fouls. We have offensive holding on number 77. We've got defensive holding on number 98. Those penalties offset. Replay first down.
Tate and Holstein offset each other.
That's a big break for Mount Union. We talked about how much those holding penalties kill drives. And for this to be offset and them just to start over and get a redo, advantage goes to Mount Union, especially where they are on the field, being in field goal territory.
Warhawks have pitched 3 defensive shutouts this season, including 2 in the NCAA playoffs. Murray scampering out left. Good open field tackle by number 21, Chris Pendergast, who had that second quarter interception. Gain of 2.
Time Mount Union go with a big power. Watch all the pulling guys come out in front of Jeremy Murray. See the pulling guard, you got a fullback out in front of him. But a nice job on the outside by Chris Pendergast, keeping contained and forcing Jeremy Murray back inside, making an open field tackle.
Murray 55 yards. This will be his, as a play action. They had a man open in the end zone and Pilato hit just as he's released it. Chris Denton, number 1, had a clean break and the window was there briefly.
Oh, they had a touchdown here on the outside. Watch the post. It is wide open. No safety help. They bit up. But Pilato, we've said it a bunch tonight. You've got to be able to protect him. He got a lot of pressure. It affected his throw. See, number 1, Chris Denton wanted that opportunity. In these types of games, you only get those type of opportunities once or twice. You've got to protect your quarterback, give him the chance to make that throw.
The pressure came from Cortez on 3rd and 8, 4 wideouts for the Purple Raiders. Pilato drops that one into the arms of Murray, rides his blockers inside the 10, towards the 5, first down.
Oh, beautiful play call by Larry Karras, knowing that Whitewater's been blitzing on 3rd down. That time, perfectly executed screen pass. As a quarterback, you let the rushers come towards you, suck them towards you, and you drop it right over the defenders. Get some linemen out in front and let Jeremy Murray do the rest.
Mount Union 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions this drive. A little power I type football right now. Fullbacks in, Jeremy Murray, the tailback. Second and goal.
And you know, coaches change quarterbacks to provide a spark. And although Neil Seaman isn't in there now, he had to leave. He did spark this offense by getting a couple first downs. And then when he went out of the game, Matt Pilato comes right back in and picks up where he left off. It really, truly was a spark for this offense.
14th play of this drive coming up. Second and goal from the 3. Murray. 3rd and goal.
Wow, this 3rd and goal coming up is as big as it gets for Mount Union. You don't know how many opportunities you're going to get this close to the end zone. This is 2-down territory in my mind because they are so close. But Larry Karras does not want to be faced with that decision. He would much rather see his team punch this one in the end zone right here.
3rd and goal from the 1.
Gotta believe you keep it on the ground with Murray.
Murray going to the left. He'll be short. And a big decision here for Larry Karras.
Well, I think it got a little bit easier because they lost yardage on that one, but they have not been in this territory all game long, and you don't know if you're going to get back there.
It was 3rd and goal from the 1, now 4th and goal from the 2. And the decision has been made. Tyler Mita will come on for the field goal attempt. He's 11 for 15 this season.
Well, it's a long 2 yards to that end zone. And I believe Larry Karras is making the right call here because they lost yardage. If they had kept it on the 1 or even inside the 1, I believe he would have gone for it.
19-yard chip shot from the left hash mark. And it's good. Mount Union dissolves the 0 and gets some points. It wasn't easy, slick surface, but able to get it off. 7-point game, 11:23 to go. Break type weather for you, right? You can afford to go topless.
Oh, this is cake. What is it,
Yeah,
40 degrees, maybe 38?
The purple cheese head. I like that one. Mount Union, their record since 05, 104, 3 of those defeats, courtesy of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Morris, Kiesau back deep for the Warhawks. It'll be Morris from his 12. Across the 30 to the 35. An excellent return for Wisconsin-Whitewater, and the Warhawks will come on offense right now for the first time tonight after their defense conceded points. Rob Stone, Danny Cannell here with you. What is the importance of this drive right now for Wisconsin-Whitewater?
Well, this is where things get interesting for Wisconsin-Whitewater. They've got a 7-point lead, but they've also got Lavelle Coppage there in the backfield. They can start working that clock, grinding him on the ground. The thing they don't want to do, though, is get too conservative. I still think they want to try to take their shots when they're there. You just have to be smart with the football and don't get complacent. You still want to stay aggressive as a play caller.
Play action, they fake to Coppage, rolling right. Blanchard will run it, runs out of bounds, just short of the 40.
It was interesting, coming out at halftime, Larry Karras, the head coach for Mount Union, said, we've got to find a way to pressure Matt Blanchard on the outside. It's where he's had a lot of success all night, either throwing it on rollouts or with his legs like he did there.
8th rush for Blanchard, picked up 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Time to feed Coppage?
Absolutely.
26th carry for Coppage. Maybe a yard.
Well, the thing that gets really, really interesting is this is when the chess match sort of opens up. You get a look at Lavelle Coppage carrying the ball there, but as a defensive coordinator, you know you've got to get the ball back, so you start blitzing guys, getting a lot of guys in there. You want tackles for loss, you want to get the ball back, but when you do that, you put your defenders on the outside and on the island.
Matt Fetchko with the tackle. Give credit to Charles Diesel, who clogged up the opening hole. 3rd and 6 here for the Warhawks. 2 wideouts to the right of Blanchard. Blanchard scrambling. Will run it. Throws it. Incomplete. 4th down. Fetchko in pursuit of Blanchard. And no options there, and a 3 and out.
Well, Vince Karras, the defensive coordinator from Mount Union, dialed up the blitz. He's done it a lot tonight in those 3rd down situations, forcing Matt Blanchard from the pocket. All he had to do was throw it away. Didn't really have an opportunity to find an open receiver because of the pressure.
Chris Russell, the punter, standing at his 25. Chris Denton at his 25 for Mount Union. And the Raiders have some momentum. Good-looking punt. Denton calls for a fair catch and brings it in at the 16. Matt Pilato. There's his numbers tonight. 2 picks and a fumble, but he led a drive on their last effort. Mount Union down 7, but on offense. The Elite 89 award is presented to the student athlete with the highest cumulative grade point average participating in the finals for each of the NCAA's 89 championships. And for the second year in a row, it goes to Jared Kiesau, 3.89 GPA in elementary education for the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Congratulations to Jared, putting the student and student athlete. Mount Union comes out firing, and Pilato off target on that one, bring up 2nd and 10.
So many times when you see a quarterback make a throw that he looks comfortable with, you go back to the well, and that's exactly what they did. They ran that earlier. For more on this play, let's go down to Tom Luganville.
Guys, really, it's about Larry Karras on the sideline. He wanted to throw it on that down, but he had his entire offense huddled up. And Larry Karras was smiling. He had this personality and this look about him that, you know what, everything's going to work out if we just hang in there. Very interesting at this point in the game.
Nice snap. Pilato handles that one. Scrambles to his left. Incomplete. Last drive for Mount Union. 16 plays, 71 yards in 7.5 minutes. Gave them a field goal to make it a 1-possession game.
Well, Tom just told us about Larry Karras, his sideline demeanor, and it's no wonder. I mean, what this guy has accomplished at this level, I don't care what level you're playing at, the standard of excellence that he has set at Mount Union is impressive. And you even asked Lance Leipold about it at Wisconsin-Whitewater, and he is in awe of what Larry Karras has done.
3rd and 10 now for the Raiders. Pilato throws that one away. He would have taken a sack. And the D holds strong for the Warhawks. Lusant Minette with the pressure.
Well, the reason Mount Union was able to score on the last drive is they were able to protect Matt Pilato. This time, watch the pressure. Under duress, the only place he had to go with it was outside. That was Lou Minette, number 97. Knocking Matt Pilato to the ground once again.
3rd 3 and out for the Raider offense tonight. Zach Howard standing at his 43. Another short punt. Won't even make it to midfield, not even close. A 26-yard punt from Brandon Matthey. Not good at this juncture. Look says it all. Coverage of college football continues tomorrow on ESPN2 and ESPNU. We begin at 11 a.m. Eastern over on ESPN2. Wayne State meeting Pittsburgh State in the D2 championship held for the 26th straight year in Florence, Alabama. Then at 2:30, Georgia Southern, North Dakota State in one of the semifinals of the FCS championship. Great opportunity here now for Wisconsin-Whitewater with excellent starting field position. Coppage changing direction, crosses the 40, and a solid gain on 1st down.
And Mount Union's defense, which did a great job the previous job, forcing a 3 and out, giving the ball back to their offense once again, but this time it's going to be a lot tougher with this field position.
Coppage 74 yards, well under what he accumulated last year at the Stagg Bowl. It's not hard to be well under that 299 yards rushing. 2nd and 5. Coppage, 27 carries, make it 28 now. And this could be enough for a 1st down.
Well, and like most good running backs, you're seeing Lavelle Coppage get better as the game goes on. That play there wasn't much of a crease, but he saw a little line and took it and ran hard to it and picked up the 1st down. In the last 2 years, Lavelle Coppage has had the game-deciding touchdown. Once again tonight, he has the only touchdown of this game, and he would love to put this game on ice with yet another one.
79 yards rushing for Coppage, 30 of them coming here in the second half. First and 10, a little sweep, and almost an opening for Huber, who was tripped up by Isaiah Scott. Otherwise, he might have taken it to the house, but he still took it for a 13-yard pickup and another first down.
Watch Tyler Huber. He's going to come across in motion. Watch the timing of this snap on the speed sweep. Matt Blanchard snapped it perfectly, so all he had to do was hand it to Tyler Huber, able to get that edge. Really caught the defense off guard. A nice play call by Steve Dinkel.
That was the longest rush of the game for either side, 13 yards. First and 10 from the 20 for Wisconsin-Whitewater. Play finally whistled dead after the gain of 2 by Coppage.
And now if you're Mount Union, you've got to start blitzing because you want to try to push Wisconsin-Whitewater back out of field goal range. But when you start taking those chances, you become susceptible to deep plays and big plays. But that rain is coming down. I say if you're Mount Union, you force Wisconsin-Whitewater to go to the air.
Third trip inside the red zone for Wisconsin-Whitewater. An interception and a touchdown. What will they have here? Another carry by Coppage as he crosses the 15. The rain continues to pick up here in the hills of Virginia.
And even here with Whitewater facing a third down, if you can force them to a field goal, there is nothing that's a given. You know, the Division III, the kicking game really suffers probably the most of any phase of the game, but then you add into the mix this weather, the rain coming down, the ball slick. You never know what could happen on a kick.
Eric Kindler had a 44-yard field goal under dry conditions in the second quarter.
Got to stop him first.
3rd and 4. All kinds of movement here. Warhawks. Oh, great fake. Blanchard's going to try and get the edge on the right. He won't find it. Eludes a couple tackles. Leans forward, will be short. All of that for a gain of 1.
Wow, that was a great job by Mount Union's defense on the back end. Recognizing the play action pass. Charles Diesel, the backside defensive end, the backside corners. Matt Blanchard, great play fake, sticks it right in the belly. Look at those 3 Mount Union defenders in pursuit, all of them right all over that play.
Decision time for Lance Leipold. We have yet to have a timeout here in the title game, and I think we may see one here.
He's working the clock, though. He's going to take every bit of that play clock and then call timeout and discuss it.
And there's your timeout with 1 left on the play clock. 5:38 left in the D3 title game. Decision time for Whitewater. They're already up by 7. Capital One Bowl Week kicks off with 3 games tomorrow on ESPN. Temple, Wyoming at 2. Utah State, Ohio in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl at 5:30. And finally at 9 Eastern, San Diego State, Louisiana, Lafayette. Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN, ESPN Radio, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. And Wisconsin-Whitewater going the field goal route. Eric Kindler on. This will be a 30-yard attempt. He already has 1 from 44.
Well, it's definitely the right play. Now it just comes down to execution.
Kindler has it, 13-3. And it's back to a 2-series lead there for Wisconsin-Whitewater. And time running out, 5:34 to go for Mount Union as Wisconsin-Whitewater trying to take their 3rd straight D3 crown. The folks at Mount Union a little tired, a little quiet right now. And the Raiders trying to earn that 11th NCAA national title and the 7th consecutive meeting between these 2 programs here at the Stagg Bowl. Larry Karras, 7th most college football wins. He'll move up to number 5 at some point next season. And that young man, Lance Leipold. Some programs might want to take notice of Mr. Leipold and maybe give him an interview or 2 or 3 or more. Very talented coach, getting a lot done with not a lot in the resource department, because that's the way you do it in D3. Skilleter tracks that one down. Across the 25 and just frozen at the 27. We go downstairs to Tom Luginbill.
You know, guys, as cold as it has gotten here in the second half, the rain continues to come down. I think Wisconsin-Whitewater is engineered to play in this type of environment. The state of Wisconsin, the cold weather that starts in late October, when you get late into the playoffs and you can run the football and you got tough, hard-nosed kids that are used to this element, gives you a huge advantage in a championship game in mid-December.
Well, Tom, this is also unfamiliar territory for Mount Union. Only once have they trailed in the 4th quarter this season, and they're down 10 in the title game, 5:26 to go. And a big hit at the 36 and a change their little wildcat formation.
Listen to the end of this run. Boy, Roman Nander. Woo, he gets lit up at the end of that run. But a big positive gain for Mount Union.
Nander, true freshman, heads to the sideline. Pilato back on, gives it to Murray. Murray out of bounds. Just beyond the 35.
Mount Union has run that stretch play, trying to get to the outside for a lot of this second half, but Whitewater just strings them out, lets them run sideways until they go out of bounds like they did there.
No gain there. 3rd and 2 coming up. Mount Union has now used 3 quarterbacks. We haven't seen Seaman since he got injured on that run in the second half. Pilato, good protection over the middle, complete in the first down. Jasper Collins with the grab at the 48.
Well, we're seeing a common theme develop for Mount Union. When they protect Matt Pilato, he finds guys, but they've struggled in doing that all night long.
Gain of 13 on 3rd and 2, time ticking away. Mount Union in the white, down 10. Another completion and a spin by Denton. And Chris Denton off to the races and dragged from behind inside the 20.
Well, we saw such a clean game. We talked about it earlier, the no missed tackles. Teams very well executed on defense, but that time there, Chris Denton just catches a quick hitting slant route.
Noah Tim had the tackle after the gain of 30, the biggest play of the night for Mount Union. 1st and 10 from the 19. Pilato looking for the end zone, overthrew his intended target, Brandon Matty.
Let's go back to the previous big play and look at what happened. See Denton catch it over the middle, watch the defender come out and whiff against Denton, who takes it a long way after that missed tackle, finally brought down by Noah Tim. And once again, Mount Union not giving up, finding their way back to the red zone. But this time they do need to get a touchdown.
Under 4 to go. Pilato looking for that left side. Connects with Collins. Out of bounds inside the 10, 1st down.
And then most importantly, you said it, Rob, getting out of bounds, stop that clock, because it is going to be an issue for Mount Union from here on out.
Collins with 7 grabs right now. Pilato settling into a nice groove in the late stages of this one. Mount Union knew they would have to throw it more than they're accustomed to. 121 yards through the air here in the second half. Pilato again will try and throw it towards the end zone. Over through Collins.
He had a chance at the end cut in the end zone for a touchdown. Ball looked like it sailed a little bit on him. Might have been the conditions out there, a little bit slick. You see the water, you see the helmet, Matt Pilato, excuse me. You see the water accumulating out there, and that is so tough to throw an accurate pass when that ball comes back to you sopping wet.
Pilato, 17 of 29, 151 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Pilato, touchdown! Claycomb. And little time for celebration. But Mount Union is alive and well. Eight-yard touchdown reception for the senior from Medina. 8 plays, 72 yards. Claycomb the grab from Pilato. 3-point game, 3:20 to go. Fourth career touchdown grab from Claycomb. Pilato, 2 picks and a fumble, and now a touchdown pass. 3-point game. Pittsburgh Steelers in action on Monday Night Football as they're out west to take on Frank Gore and the Niners. 8:30 Eastern. Coverage begins at 7 with Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's. 3-point game here. Mount Union has all 3 of their timeouts. Is this the time where you drop an onside kick, or do you hope your D can hold?
I think, in my mind, I think you kick it away. You've got all 3 timeouts, 3:20. I mean, if it was a minute 20, I think you have to think about it. But 3 minutes and 20, you can kick it off. You put it in your defense's hands and try to get the ball back. Luge, what do you think?
You know, guys, they've got to still defend it now. Initially, Wisconsin-Whitewater was lined up in a normal kick return position. Now they've walked up a little bit, so they at least got to defend it, even if they leave a gap between the 50 and the 25-yard line.
Whitewater leaves 2 guys deep at the 20.
I guess the biggest issue is you think about Lavelle Coppage back on the other side. That's one tough guy to try to force and stop him.
Tyler Almeida, number 80, set to kick it. And he does kick it away. It's high, but not very deep. Fielded at the 15 by Morris, who's met at about the 29. So an opportunity here for Wisconsin-Whitewater to salt this one away and win their 3rd straight Division III national title. Mount Union has rallied to within 3, a defensive stand, and all 3 of their timeouts left, and they can equalize with a field goal or maybe win it with a touchdown.
And now for Wisconsin-Whitewater, they're going to go into a 4-minute offense, which basically means if you're Lavelle Coppage or any ball carrier, you make sure you secure the ball with 2 hands. You don't go out of bounds. I don't care if you think you have a big play. You go down in bounds. And most importantly, no penalties either.
142 yards of offense in the first half for Wisconsin-Whitewater, just 62 prior to this play. Well, the Mount Union D has tightened up here in the second half. There's a gain of 2 on first down. 2nd and 8 coming up, and there's a timeout, the first of the game by Mount Union. They'll set up a 2nd and 8 with 3:10 to go.
Mount Union sold out to the run right there, which I think they'll do every time.
Here's the last drive for Mount Union.
Matt Pilato, they did a great job protecting him. That was a big 3rd down throw over the middle. Found Chris Denton for that big play. One missed tackle. Chris Denton made them pay. Took it all the way down. And then finally, the quick slant route to number 81, A.J. Claycomb. And Matt Pilato, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's been knocked around, battered, but he has stood firm in there when it mattered. Brought his team back, and now he's waiting to get that ball back, hoping for that opportunity.
Knocked around, battered, 2 picks, a fumble, and yanked from the game and brought back in because Neil Seaman re-injured his knee.
What's probably more impressive is the mental aspect that he's rebounded from, not the physical.
Between the ears, he has been solid. Coppage gets a couple there on 2nd down, maybe 3, and another timeout. So Mount Union down to 1 timeout left. 3rd and 5 coming up. 3:05 left in this one.
Well, now what you've got is the 3rd down of the year for both these teams. For Mount Union, they want to get the ball back. They are going to sell out all over this run. For Wisconsin-Whitewater, if they can get this 1st down, they're that much closer to being able to run out the clock.
So you're saying they're going to run this one on 3rd and 5?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be shocked if they took to the air. I'd like to see it. It'd be very, very aggressive. But when you've got Lavelle Coppage in the backfield, I think you give it to your workhorse, even though it is a 3rd down and long. Plus, in these weather conditions, a lot of bad things can happen. Even if you're in the shotgun, you try to throw the ball, it can slip out, you get a turnover. You know, worst case, if you don't get the 1st down, at least punt it away and make Mount Union drive the length of the field.
Coppage, 32 carries, 91 yards, and a 1-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter that made it 10-0 Warhawks. Trophy presentation will be over on ESPN 3 after this game. Log on right now, watch it on your computer, and watch with us. And Mount Union has to scramble to get on the field in time. Wisconsin-Whitewater tried to go with a quick snap, and the officials holding things up.
Well, that was interesting right there. What Whitewater was trying to do was trying to kind of decoy their offense. The play clock was running. They wanted to run up and try to catch Mount Union off guards rather, try to catch them, you know, not ready for the play. But what happened, the official got over the ball and said, hold on a second, wait. Watch the official right in the middle of your screen. Watch his reaction. Whitewater wants to run this play as quick as possible, and the official says, hold on a second. I think the official should have let them run the play. The play clock was running. If they wouldn't have snapped that ball, it would have been delay of game.
Leipold having a conversation with the referee, Kenneth I
love the approach. I mean, that was definitely part of their plan, was to kind of sedate Mount Union to think, hey, we're not ready, we're going to come up there. And you saw their urgency when they went to the line of scrimmage.
Instead, it's Leipold and Whitewater burning a timeout, so now both programs with 1 left. 3:05 remain. 3rd and 5 in a 3-point game in the D3 National Title Championship. Shotgun. Blanchard will run it. Punt team comes on.
Well, they tried to show pass by having no back in the backfield, an empty formation. Matt Blanchard, though, clearly a quarterback run all the way. Mount Union was all over it. Watch the penetration up front, the pursuit by the 2nd level. Great job by Mount Union giving their offense a chance. Now, Wisconsin-Whitewater has to make sure they get this punt off in these lousy conditions.
Clock continues to tick as Mount Union wants to hold on to that last timeout. Things like this always seem to come down to special teams. Low snap, handled well. Good looking kick. Denton backs up. It'll bounce and take a good kick for Wisconsin-Whitewater. Down and out at the 16-yard line. A 51-yard punt, a money punt from Rosholt.
Oh, you said it. Great punt from Wisconsin-Whitewater, now forcing Mount Union to go 84 yards to try to get this game either tied up and get to overtime or possibly go for that game-winning touchdown. Here we go. Can Matt Pilato do it again? Can they protect him and give him the opportunity?
Pilato rolling to his left under pressure, throws it up and out. Casey Casper, the senior, in his face. 2nd and 10, 2:05 to go.
And now if you're Brian Borland, the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin-Whitewater, you want to get pressure on Matt Pilato. You want to blitz him, but we saw what happened last time when they blitzed. They gave up a touchdown in the end zone and the other big play to Chris Denton. This is where the chess match begins between the play caller and the defensive coordinator.
complete over the middle, down to the 25, shy of a first down. Gain of 9, 3rd and 1 coming up. Jasper Collins with the reception. Mount Union holds on to that last timeout.
A nice catch, too, a little bit behind him.
Pilato, incomplete, and almost picked off. Noah Tim had a brief opportunity, man down in the backfield for Whitewater.
Well, this was really close to almost being game over.
That's Minette.
This ball actually was tipped by number 1 right there. If it doesn't get tipped, Noah Tim may take that in the other way. Right now, Lou Minette is down on the play, which actually is probably a good thing for Mount Union. They're able to use this as a timeout, strategically planned for this 4th down.
Lusant Minette, the sophomore from Whitewater, rare for a local product to go to Wisconsin-Whitewater.
Well, he's a key guy, too. He's their best pass rush specialist on that defensive line. And he's been providing a lot of that pressure all night long.
Mount Union 15 for 26 on 4th downs this season.
We've already seen a few plays of the game. Here's another one, a big 4th down for Mount Union.
So a timeout as Minette is up on his feet. And 4th and 1 coming up here.
Mount Union's had a lot of success on the slant routes tonight. This might be another opportunity where you might see it. They scored the last touchdown on the double slants. We'll see what they dial up here.
So Wisconsin-Whitewater's best pass rusher heads to the sideline. 4th and 1 for Mount Union, down 7. Down 3 rather, 1:38 to go. Pilato through the air, complete! And the drive is alive at the 31. Collins with the grab.
What a tight window. Jasper Collins actually showed a little slant route, but then slid to the outside. And man, that is a tight window, well defended, but just perfectly executed by the quarterback and receiver. Watch this ball placement and great focus by Jasper Collins, looking that ball all the way in and getting out of bounds.
9th grab for 69 yards for Collins. 1st and 10, 1:33 to go. Pilato lofts this one up into double coverage. It's intercepted and then dropped. Incomplete.
They tried a wheel route. They tried to get a whole lot on that play. Matt Pilato trying to take the ball down the field, and this ball actually was intercepted, but the collision between Ryan Wankman and his defensive back is what knocked that off. Lance Leipold thought he had a national title secured with that play. Now he's got to get more stops by his defense.
Wankman, the team's best safety, had a chance to close it. 2nd and 10. Mount Union still alive, down 3. Pilato with time, lofts that one, incomplete. 3rd and 10, 1:19 to go.
Good coverage by Wisconsin-Whitewater. Pilato had a lot of time to survey the field, but nobody to throw to. Finally just threw it away. You got to remember here, if you're Matt Pilato in 3rd and 10, you don't have to get the first down here. Don't get greedy and think you have to force the ball down the field. You might be able to hit your check down and get 7 or 8 yards and live for that 4th down.
And you also have a timeout to burn should you choose to use it.
You really just can't take a sack.
Pilato looking left all the way, fires that one too tall. 4th and 10 coming up. Kisau on the coverage, your Elite 89 winner.
And right here, another 4th down for Mount Union to keep their hopes alive in this game. But this time it's a 4th and 10. Last time was a 4th and 1.
A.J. Claycomb, who had the touchdown on the right. Pilato hit as he released, caught. The run after the catch will be short. Wisconsin-Whitewater 66 seconds away from their third straight D3 title.
What a game by both these two teams, a well-fought contest. Wisconsin-Whitewater on 4th and 10. Great defensive stop. They got pressure again on Matt Pilato, but watch the stop. All the defenders coming up, making sure they don't get the first down, and the celebration starts for Wisconsin-Whitewater.
Just make sure you can handle the snaps cleanly, and that has been an issue. And again,
no Joe Pisarcek moments.
Slick conditions here. Snap and a knee. 1 minute left.
And yet another close battle came down to the last few plays of the game. This is matchup number 7 in the last 7 years, and there's a pretty good possibility we might see number 8 next year again with these two programs.
We asked the coaches if this is a good thing for college football in Division III, having these two teams meet 7 years in a row. And they said, look, there's about 10 head coaches out there who said we are this close to knocking off these teams. A lot of these two programs went into the 4th quarter a little bit more than they had in years past, and here comes the Gatorade bath. That is a cold but great feeling. Three in a row for Wisconsin-Whitewater and their 4th in program history.
I don't care what level you play at. If it's an FBS national title game, Division III national title game, it is still a great feeling to be the champion at the end of the season. In the same way, it hurts just as bad to be on the losing end, but what a great game these teams provided for us tonight.
The Warhawks' nation-best winning streak moves to 45 games, 5th longest streak in NCAA history. Their last loss, 2008, here to Mount Union. But today, it's title number 4 for Wisconsin-Whitewater, and underneath the fireworks, Tom Luganville standing by with the winning head coach, Lance Leipold.
Yeah, guys, coach, now 82 wins. You've taken this football team to 5 national title games, winning the last 3. What do you have to say for your football team?
Well, I'm awful proud of the way our guys competed tonight. It was a heck of a ball game. Mount Union's an excellent football team, as you could see, Tom. I'm so proud of this guy that he had a chance. It was tough sledding in there, but again, the job our assistant coaches and players have done, it's just been outstanding.
Do you feel like your team thrives in this type of weather environment?
Well, you know, it's one of those things that where we're from, we get a lot of it, and they used to be practicing it a lot. They just don't let it rattle, and they've been through it, and it shows in these type of cases where we get to this part of the game.
What do you have to say for your fans, the folks that came and supported you here tonight? Impressive?
We can't thank them enough for the way they've traveled and supported us. You know, our university, the Whitewater community, southeastern Wisconsin, the whole state, we're awful proud that we've been able to bring another national championship back home, Tom.
How about this guy right here, huh? Matt Blanchard, huh? Matt Blanchard, a year ago, not able to play in this game, injured. Lee Brecky comes in, goes 5-0, takes you to a national title, but this one is yours.
Yeah, it feels unbelievable. I mean, we had a great supporting cast. You got to give a lot of credit to Mount Union for the things they did today defensively, and it's just, it's everything I dreamed of and more. It's incredible.
You came in, originally went to Northern Ohio, come into this program. You're now a national title winner as the starting quarterback. How about the lasting relationships you've made over the last 4 years here?
It's incredible, the relationships we have. I mean, it's one of the tightest locker rooms I've ever been around in my entire life. And, you know, this is an absolute team effort, and I couldn't be more thankful for those guys right now.
3 straight national titles for Wisconsin-Whitewater. Matt, quarterback, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys?
What a game by these two teams. I love championship football, love the entertainment it provided. Happy for the winners, feel bad for the losers, but there's a good chance we'll see them again next year.
The Division II National Championship game tomorrow, and the belt goes back to Wisconsin. Your final score from Salem, 13-10 for the Warhawks. NFL Kickoff is next on ESPN2. Continuing championship trophy presentation can be seen on ESPN3. For our entire production team, Danny Cannell and Tom Luganville, I'm Rob Stone. Good night from Salem. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.